morning, everyone. I'm still waking up. It's 7 o'clock. I have a Pilates class at 8:30 this morning, so I had to get up at 6:30. I was laying in bed from 6 o'clock to 6:30 if I'm being honest. But welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be kind of a mix of like a reading vlog and kind of just me doing some things this week. I had the idea after watching one of Sarah Caroli's videos like a long time ago to film a video based off of my screen time because I have been on my phone so much since I got back from vacation. I don't know what it is, but I just spend hours and hours and hours on my phone. So I figured it would be the perfect time. I was supposed to start this video yesterday, but yesterday was just so busy with work. Mondays usually are, so I didn't get to start this video. I did listen to my audiobook yesterday, but I want to also mainly read physical pages for this video, so we're here now. And it's Tuesday. With that being said, I'm still going to start with Monday screen time and we'll just extend this over into Saturday, or I'll combine Friday's reading, but we'll see. Monday last week, I spent 3 hours and 57 minutes on TikTok. What was I doing? Literally, what was I doing? So that translates into 237 pages that we have to read today. So I am going to finish my breakfast. I'm also going to update my location in my physical book. Right now I'm reading From Ash and Blood, I believe, which is the 5th book in the From Blood and Ash series. So I'm currently listening to it and reading it at the same time. I listened to some more yesterday, so I'm going to update the page in my book, and then I'm going to bring the physical book with me. I'm probably going to listen to some of it on the way over there also, but we'll kind of count as many pages as I've read or listened to, and then we'll add that into the total, because today I have a lot of like computer work and stuff to do, so we're going to try to fit the reading in. This is a goal, so hopefully I do hit it by the end of the day, but if I don't, I'm not going to like beat myself up over it. But I want to see if doing this makes me get off my phone more, because I have been on my phone so much lately and I need to cut it out. So hopefully this is going to help me. But I'm going to eat my breakfast, I'm going to watch my YouTube, and then I'm going to get ready for my Pilates class, and I'll see you guys when we're back. I do have to stop for gas too, so I might stop for gas and a coffee. I bought coffee to have here, but I don't know. Or maybe a matcha. I'm not really sure what the vibe is. Maybe a matcha today. I'm getting ready for Pilates, but I need to wear contacts because every time I wear my glasses, they fall off my face and I get so annoyed. I'm getting a new pair of contacts. I use monthlies, but I really never wear my contacts at all. I also have 2 different prescriptions in each eye. It is so nice sometimes to wear contacts, not have to worry about putting my glasses on. Angel had a bleeding toe just now and she scratched the jonkers out of my leg. I don't even know what she was doing. I just noticed blood on the counter. And I was like, that is not from me. I did not have a nosebleed or anything. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna call the vet and just see if I need to pick up anything, like antibiotics or something. She's not limping, she's not crying in pain, and she's not licking it. So, okay, I need to get a new camera battery, but I think this is the Pilates fit today. I know I'm gonna get a sweater because it's cold, but I just want like a zip up sweater. I'm gonna fill up my water and then I'm probably going to head out. I also bought these super cute new Pilates socks. So today I guess I can pick one to wear. I think I'm gonna go with these ones. I'm wearing pink pants. Might as well go for pink socks. I have the window open, but it is 4 o'clock. I have not read anything since I was in the car waiting to go to Pilates because I've been editing all morning or morning and afternoon, and working on some sponsored posts and stuff. I was just getting them all done today. I was just in an editing grind. If you edit content or just are a small business owner, you probably can relate to this, but when you're in like an editing flow, you're just like in the zone, locked in, and that was me. So I I spent the last, I don't know, I've been sitting here since like 11. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 5 hours working on my recent YouTube video and also a branded post for a brand that I sent off to my manager. So we got that done. And now I am going to probably prep dinner and then I'm gonna read because we have a lot of pages to get to. I think I wrote down what page I need to get to tonight in order to finish the pages. I think it's 237. We need to get to page 541. Okay, we started on page 304. That is a lot of pages. So I think while I cook, I am not gonna watch YouTube. I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook. I usually watch YouTube while I cook, but I'm gonna listen to the audiobook because we got a lot of pages to get through. And then I think I might go for a walk or something and then I'll probably listen to the audiobook. Unless Jacob comes with me, then I will probably not listen to the audiobook, you know, so spend time with him.
But it wasn't. It was still as calm, blue and warm as it always was. So I was beginning to think something.
Okay, so I just got to my doctor's office and I just finished the, what was it called? I don't even remember. Blood and ash and blood, something. I'll put it on the screen here. I am flabbergasted. We left on like a cliffhanger. I'm kind of confused about what happened. I can't say much because this is literally the 5th book in the series, but wow, that was so good. Every one of these books have been 4.5 to 5 star for me. This is like definitely like 4.75. I really loved getting to be in Cass's point of view for this book. That's all I will say. But yeah, we still have a couple more pages to read. We have to read a total of 107 pages today. I didn't really intro any of this day because I had a very rushed morning. I had a Pilates class at 9:30 and I woke up late this morning and Jacob was over. So we made breakfast and then I was kind of rushing around getting the house together because I knew I wasn't going to be home for the first half of the day and I didn't want to come back to a messy house. So I was determined on getting the house clean. But I just finished listening to that book, so I'm probably going to start another audiobook on the drive home. I'm not sure. I think maybe like a little romance. I think I'm going to listen to The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams because I want to read that physical book as well. So I'll just start listening to the audio on the way home. But I think I'm going to end up reading and listening to more than 107 pages today. I will put on the screen how long my screen time was. I'm going to head up to my doctor's appointment and then we're gonna drive home. I also did some work at a coffee shop and read a little bit at the coffee shop, except my coffee was not good at all. It was actually really bad. I still have half of it. It tastes horrible, literally tastes horrible. I have not had such a horrible coffee. Like I could make a way better one at home, but it is what it is. It was $8, but I'll never go back there again because it was not good. It is now Thursday. It is 7:45. I just finished baking cookies and they look so good. I'm so excited to try them, but I need to let them rest first. And so I am practicing self-control and patience. but it's not going very well. We are currently reading The Temporary Roomie. I don't know if I told you guys that this is what I started, but I needed a palette cleanser in between finishing from Ash and Blood and also simultaneously reading the Book of Azrael. I need something to take me out of the fantasy world for a second. So I decided on this. I was going to read this on vacation. I brought 2 physical books to read, but then I ended up just reading on my Kindle the entire time. I've been so into reading on my Kindle lately. I don't know what it is, if it's just the fact that I redecorated it or if the books on the Kindle are just hitting, or I don't know, something about my Kindle just draws me to it all the time. But I needed a palette cleanser and this is what I chose. I read 2 others of this series, the Off Limits Rule and The Match. I only have this one and The Enemy left. This one is actually really good. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I feel like that's literally how I go into every single book that I read. This one is about Jesse and Andrew. Andrew is Lucy's brother that we met in the previous book, and we actually got set up for this book in the last book. This series is an interconnected standalone series, so you can read them out of order, but if you read them in order, you'll kind of follow along a little bit of like a plot, but like not really. You don't have to read them in order. But this book is basically about Lucy's best friend, who is Jessie. Jessie is pregnant and she's had a very unfortunate way that she's pregnant now, and she doesn't really have any family or anything like that. So in the very beginning of the book, we find out that Jessie's house has black mold, and for a pregnant woman, we cannot be in that situation. So she ends up having to move in with Drew, which is her arch enemy. Like, this girl hates this guy. Well, hates this guy. And they actually met in the other book briefly, and something transpired that they don't like each other, or that she doesn't like him, and he's kind of like, what the heck? And basically it's like forced proximity, and it's just so good. He's a doctor, she's pregnant, he's a gynecologist, he delivers babies. I don't know, it's just giving. It's definitely not like 5-star worthy, but it is such a cute little rom-com. Like, this book has made me laugh so many times. I'm reading and listening to it because this week I'm just having a really busy week. I don't know why I decided to do this video this week during like one of my most busiest weeks, but I am loving it, and I think I really needed this palette cleanser in between 2 really big fantasy books. So Wednesday last week, I was on TikTok for 4 hours and 14 minutes, which is so crazy. What was I doing on Wednesday? Clearly nothing, only scrolling on TikTok. So we have a total of 254 pages to read. Let me share with you guys how many pages I've read so far. So far I've read 82 pages of this book. I don't think it has chapter numbers. Oh yeah, I'm on chapter 16 on page 133. This book has 309 pages, so I basically have to get to page 305. So I'm basically gonna have to finish this book tonight. I have a Pilates class at 7:15 tomorrow morning, which means I have to be up at 6 a.m. So let's see if I can finish this book. I would be able to finish it right now if I just read for the rest of the night, but I actually have an entire video to edit, so I have to do that first, and I can't listen to an audiobook and edit a video at the same time. So let's see how late I have to stay up. I already showered after my Pilates class today, so I basically just have to do like my bedtime routine and then go to bed. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I have to edit this video, so I'm probably gonna get started on doing that. It is 7:50 and I have a feeling I'm gonna go to bed at like 11:30 today. Probably later than that, because I don't know how long this video is gonna take me to edit. But so far, really loving this book. If I don't end up getting all the pages done today, I'm gonna read tomorrow morning before I start work so that we can get this done. Been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's only because I booked a really early Pilates class, and I just booked another early morning Pilates class next Friday. So I was struggling to get out of bed this morning, but I did it, and I had such a great class. I really love the instructor that teaches at this specific time. They're changing the schedule starting after next week, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get early morning classes with this instructor. I really enjoyed the class today, and I actually kind of like the fact that I've been up since 5 o'clock because I feel like I've gotten so much done, and it's only 10 o'clock. So I don't know, maybe I'm kind of liking this. I definitely cannot get up at 5 a.m. every single day, but I am in a sweater because I'm actually really cold. I have the windows open in the house so that I can let some of the air flow through because there's nothing like the fresh air smell in my house. I am sitting here doing some work and just going through some emails, working on some content scripts, and kind of planning out my week next week in terms of content. I finished most of my shop closing sale back end stuff, so I don't really have much to do for that. Maybe some stuff I'll post on Instagram. But in the meantime, we need to talk about the book. And we also need to talk about how many pages I did and did not read last night because, spoiler alert, I didn't finish all the pages I was supposed to yesterday. This just goes to show how different it is for me to scroll on my phone and how easy it is for me to scroll on my phone for multiple different hours versus read a book for multiple hours. I feel like they're just, one is bad for you and one is good for you. And I don't know, it's kind of humbling. Yesterday I read 100 pages and I was supposed to read 257. So we have 157 left from yesterday. So that's rolling over to today. And last Thursday I was on TikTok, which is always my most used app, for an hour and 51 minutes, which means we have to read 111 pages today and 157 pages from yesterday. So that brings our grand total to 268 pages today. I feel like I can do it, but I don't know how many more pages of this book I have left. So let me flip to the very last page in this book and let's do some math here. That's gonna bring us to 156. So then I'm gonna have to finish this book and continue reading the Book of Azrael on my Kindle. So I'm gonna get in some pages right now because we have a lot of pages to do. So I think I'm gonna read for like 20 or 30 minutes. I can probably like make a big dent in 156 pages. Like I could probably read half of that because I read pretty fast. And also this book is not that difficult. I also actually listened to a little bit this morning. So I'm on page 174. I officially finished the Temporary Roomie and this was so cute. I actually think this is the last book out of this series, so I have to read The Enemy. I don't know what the order is, but this was so cute. I am a big banter person. If a book has banter and good banter, I am eating it up. I really thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was actually so good. The only thing was that sometimes I felt the female main character was a bit like dumb, but I think that was like the point of her character, was for her to be a little bit naive. But I just feel like in some moments it was like, girl, read the room. How about we use more than one brain cell and figure out why? Like there was a lot of like her just assuming random things instead of her actually just using 3 brain cells instead of 1 to think about something. But I don't know, it made sense within the story. It was just kind of annoying when she was doing that, but I really love this book. I thought, oh, it was so cute. So we read 156 pages left of this book and we finished her. So now we have a total of 110 pages to read. I don't think I'm going to do any more reading right this second because I do have to get my computer and do a little bit of work. I just had it charging over there because the charger doesn't reach all the way over here. So I'm just have it plugged in while I was reading for a bit. When I do pick up my next read, I do have to finish 110 pages, which I'm sure I can do. I'm going to be reading the Book of Azrael. I don't know, you can't see, it's a bit thing. This book is actually so good. Every time I pick it up, I like binge it and I can't stop reading, but it's taking me a long time to read. I don't know if it's the writing style or the fact that it's like the first book in a fantasy series. Usually fantasies take me a little bit longer to read just because I'm trying to grasp everything, especially if it's the first book. Like the From Blood and Ash series, I can read super quick just because I kind of like already understand all the dynamics and the magic system and just how all the creatures interact with each other. But because this is the first book in the series and there's a lot of different magic systems, like or not different magic systems, but like all of the stuff in this book is completely different than obviously the other fantasies I've read, which is a good thing. But I think I'm just so used to reading the From Blood and Ash series because that's what I've been like enthralled in recently. I've just been reading that, and I'm trying to get through that series before the, what is it? The 7th book in the series comes out, I think. I have 2 more left until I'm caught up. I have the final Flesh and Fire book to read, and then I have the 6th Blood and Ash book to read. So yeah, anyway, in my first Doing Fall Stuff vlog, I made this Kindle insert. It's so cute. I made it on Canva. I am obsessed with it. Sorry, the glare from the window. I'm literally obsessed with it. I think I want to make one for every season. It's gonna be so cute. And yeah, I just want to share that because every time I look at my Kindle, it makes me so freaking happy. And it's just like the little things in life. But anyway, I am going to do some work and then I'm gonna read a little bit on my Kindle and hopefully get to 110 pages today. So yeah, let's do a screen time update on my phone this week actually. I've been on my phone a little bit more today than I have been in the past couple of days. So Tuesday, I was on TikTok for 1 hour and 7 minutes, which is a very big drastic change from the previous week. Wednesday, I was only on TikTok for 37 minutes. That's crazy. Then, yesterday, I was on TikTok for 1 hour and 59 minutes. That's a little bit more than usual. And then today, I've been on TikTok for 1 hour and 9 minutes, and the day's not done yet. So we're kind of doing better. I would say not having a 4.5 hour screen time on TikTok is definitely a win. So I think we're winning. We have finally made it to the end of this reading vlog. This was actually so fun. I can't wait to kind of go over the footage and analyze it and show you guys the stats at the end of every day of reading and see how much this drastically changed my screen time now that I have the evidence of my new screen time. We ended up finishing 3 books and I'm so excited. I kind of want to briefly talk about the books. The first book that we finished was A Soul of Ash and Blood, and this is the 5th book in the From Blood and Ash series. So I'm not going to talk too much about it just because it's like so in deep to the series and I don't want to spoil anything. But this book was so good. Each time that we get more and more books in this series, I find that we keep finding out more things, and a lot more events that happen in the beginning of the books really start to click together and start to make more sense. This book was from a different character's point of view and I loved every second of it. It was basically like a retelling of the first book from somebody else's point of view, and I just love that we got to see so many different things that we did not get to see in the first book, and it really kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things, and I just really loved learning more about certain things that happened in the book. Definitely a really good book series if you want to get into fantasy. I think it's, in my opinion, it's not really something that takes a lot of brain power, but it's just a really good series. If you're looking to get into fantasy and romantasy, this is definitely a series that you need to pick up. If you're somebody who likes ACOTAR or that whole series, definitely think that this is better, dare I say. I still have my King Rysand, or Rysand, or whatever the heck his name is, but I fear this book series, the From Blood and Ash series and the Flesh and Fire, are becoming my Roman Empire, and so definitely recommend reading that if you want to get into fantasy or need another fantasy series to delve into. With that being said, to break up the 2 fantasy books that I was reading in this video, I threw in a cute little rom-com, and I ended up listening to and reading The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams, and this is her kind of like revised and republished debut series, I'm pretty sure, and I read 2 others in this series. So I read The Temporary Fix and The Match. Those 2, so amazing. I've also read a few of her other books. I love how funny her books are and how multi-dimensional the characters are. For a rom-com, she has really well-rounded characters. I loved in this book the banter. I think I've talked a little bit about this book when I finished it in this vlog. I really loved the banter between the 2 characters. I thought the female main character was a bit overbearing at times and she didn't really use her brain and she kind of just assumed certain things, but all things aside, I really loved the two characters together. The tension, I guess you could call it, and the romance was definitely there, and you could feel it in between both of the characters, even though they technically like hated each other at first. So I really loved the book, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something lighthearted, and definitely a good audiobook to listen to because it's actually really funny. So I really like that book. And then I finished this reading vlog with none other than the Book of Azrael. Now, I've had this book on my TBR for a long time, and I've tried to start it multiple different times, and I just kind of put it away after one chapter. I couldn't get past it. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that I stuck out the first couple chapters because it did not have me at the very beginning. I was kind of confused, didn't really know what was going on, kind of like what the heck's going on here. But to be fair, every beginning book in a fantasy series or romantasy series that I've read so far, that is how I feel for like the first 30 to 40% of the book, just because you're entering a new fantasy world and you don't really know the magic system, you don't know the creatures, you don't know how they all interact with each other. And my brain power for reading fantasy is very low because I don't read a lot of fantasy or haven't in the past. So I find it's harder for me to get into a fantasy series, but this book, when I tell you, is my new favorite read so far, and we just literally dipped our toe into fall. This is so good. I can't wait to read the next 2 books I think it is in the series. I am obsessed. I am so annoyed the way that it ended because now I need to jump right into the next book, but if I do, I fear I'm going to be in a slump, so I need to give myself a break from fantasy. But oh, this book, the female main character is a literal badass, might I say. The male main character is kind of like broody, and you can tell like he's big and buff and ooh, I'm Mr. Powerful, but he's actually not, you know what I mean? And it's just, that is a dynamic that I don't think is explored a lot in fantasy series. Like usually we have like the damsel in distress that turns into this like amazing powerful witch queen. But in this book, she was already a badass from the beginning. From like chapter 1, sentence 1, this girl was slaying, and literally and metaphorically slaying. So I loved the dynamic of them two in the book. I loved the magic system. I loved the world that they were in. I thought it was so interesting. I really love this book, and I can't stop thinking about it. Honestly, I think this was such a good book. I read it at the perfect time. I think all those times I tried to start it was not the right time for me to read it. So I'm happy that I read it when I did, and I love it, and I'm so happy that I finished it. But those are the books. I loved taking some time away from my phone. I feel like doing this video has really helped me regain some of my control back when it comes to how I deal with stress in my life. It is no doubt that I've been going through a lot with not only my business, but just life in general. So I really love that this kind of showed me that I can, instead of doom scrolling on my phone, I can pick up my Kindle or read a book or listen to an audiobook, and it have better outcomes in like de-stressing me and calming me down. That was the whole point of this video. Obviously it was a fun concept as well. I loved watching Sarah's video where she did this kind of concept. That's where I kind of took inspiration for this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. This is the first reading vlog I'm ever posting on my channel, so let me know if you would like me to do more of these or none of these. Maybe don't tell me if you don't want me to do them anymore. But thank you for watching to the very end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and maybe put some new books on your TBR. If you have any good recommendations that you think I would like or want me to read, then do let me know in the comments below some of your favorite reads or something that you would like me to read. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!